You know what? I tell y'all, everybody's wondering, oh my gosh, Sheletta, how is your business doing so well? Why are you always grinding? Why are you always, running 110 miles an hour for every single project? I'm gonna tell you something. I got good mentors. I got two brothers that I've known for 30 years, and I've watched them grow in their careers, with their families, but most importantly, with their business. And I never needed business mentors because my brothers, they are doing the damn thing. And I'm so excited to have Stephen Carter,
Yes.
half of the Carter brother duo,
Hey,
on
sweetheart, how are
Laughing with
you?
Letta. I'm going to just tell you, I'm so proud of you and Sterling.
Thank you so much.
I'm so proud of y'all. And let me tell you why. I just watched y'all. Loving your wives first.
Yes.
Raising your families.
Amen,
Getting them
amen,
advanced
amen.
degrees.
Yes.
And then starting this company. These companies, because you got more than one.
We do. It keeps us busy, sis. It keeps us busy.
And the way you do it with the spirit of excellence.
Oh,
Everything you have your hand on, whether it is your children or the community or your business, it is 110%. I just need to know, I just need you to know and your brother to know how proud I am of you. You've invited me into your home so we can chat on this week's episode of Laughing with Letta. Tell everybody about your business ventures and everything that you and your brother are doing.
Well, thank you. So I don't know how to even start with that introduction you just gave us, but Sheletta and I, we go way back. So we're Houstonians, native Houstonians, been known each other for a long time. And I too have watched your journey and have been just as impressed, just as blown away with you. And we always joke. She says, "It's two of y'all. How am I gonna compete?"
I can't keep up.
But look, she ain't just competing. She's excelling and doing her thing. But thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here, hanging out with us in the home and getting a chance to hang out with our wives and that kind of thing. But no, we've opened up business all in the healthcare space. Starting out with an outpatient physical therapy clinic. My brother, my twin brother, as Sheletta mentioned, he's a physical therapist. He has his doctorate in physical therapy. And I'm a business guy, so I have an MBA in finance and change management, undergrad in accounting. But the crazy thing about healthcare is that most of the time in healthcare, you have someone who is health oriented. They know how to take care of patients, and they try to start a business, but they don't know anything about business.
Because they know about healthcare.
That's all they know about is taking care of people. So what people don't know is that a lot of practices fail simply because they don't understand business. For us, we kind of, not only are we twins and we have a yin and yang kind of thing, we also had two sides of the coin. The healthcare clinical side from my brother, and then the business side from my side. So once we got together and started, dually going after things just started going really crazy.
Okay, now you have to tell me how to do this, and I know your mother's a big part of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Making sure that the brothers are close.
Yeah.
You see so many brothers and both are successful. There's a competition going on.
Yeah.
But you all work together to build each other up. Tell me what your mother instilled in you, because that's the queen. We call her the queen.
Absolutely.
We call that woman the queen. What did the queen teach you? I mean, all your life that made you all want to help and work together to build each other up and not tear each other down.
You know what? It's. I'm so glad you brought up my mom, because she has a big part to do with this. Single mother raising two men, two knuckleheads, and we didn't always do the right thing. We definitely gave her a few extra gray hairs, throughout the whole process. But my mother's from Mississippi. She's grew up, picking cotton and understanding true work ethic. She has always been someone who believes in having multiple streams of income and doing multiple things. I remember that when, she was a school teacher, she drove the bus in the morning. She was, had cooking classes in the evening. She just always had multiple things going. Yeah. But the biggest thing that she taught us is just not to be satisfied with the status quo. You have the ability to be more. You can reach higher heights. And so we always thought that we had the ability to be more than. Right. And so we just felt that. And so I love her for instilling that in us. Our family structure was very close.
Yes.
And even though I've had a troubled childhood. My father was in the military. He passed away from alcoholism early on, and there were some abusive things in that. So I've seen dysfunctionality from that standpoint, but we've been able to overcome that. And I think in certain ways, it kind of made us who we are. To say, okay, even for me, I had a stepfather that was they were a part of it, and that was troublesome as well. But those things built me as a man. So when I had my own family, and I was in a relationship where I had to take care of my stepdaughter, I wanted her to be treated the way I wanted to be treated when I was younger. And I said, I don't want her to ever feel like she's not mine,
Right.
But those kind of things are what's instilled in you when you get good parenting and good rearing. So, it's just we've been close to each other, my brother and I, not just because, of course, we're twins, but we're brothers, and we stay in our lane.
Okay.
We stay in our lane.
Preach about it.
And so we know that each of us brings something strong to the table. We joked about it. I don't know if you're a New Edition fan.
Yes, you know I am.
New Edition. So they had the little documentary that came out, and so you saw how they were so good together. But when they started breaking up, and everyone thought they were so good and they could do they never quite got it right. Everything started falling apart. And it's just like you got to understand that there's a value that somebody brings to the table, and sometimes it may get a little cloudy, and you might get the big head, but there's something valuable that people bring to the table, and you got to understand it and respect that. So but we have a healthy competition. That's good too. But it's not to the point that it tears each other's down. It's to the point where my brother would be like, look, I got XXX 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 done today. What are you doing today? You only got 5. I got 10. What are you doing? I'm like, I'll say the same thing to Sterling as well. You're half stepping a day. Like, what are you doing? You just step your game up.
It's a loving challenge.
It is.
It is a loving challenge. Now, you said something just now. You talked about more than. We know we wanted to do more than. We wanted to be more than. How do you overcome the stigma, especially in our community?
Yes.
Who you think you are?
Yeah.
You're trying to show out. You think you better than people. And a lot of times for us, that makes us revert and go back to that old way of living and not pressing toward the things that we can accomplish. We let other people's limitations of us make us limit ourselves. How do we get past that? Because you and your brother have gotten past that.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. It really is. And I don't know that I've thought about that in detail, except for what I would say is exposure, because I think that you're right. If you stay within that certain community and your mindset is limited by that community, you can never think outside of that. And I think that when we were younger, our mother made a concerted effort to make sure we were exposed to different things. If it was nothing more than the Boy Scouts or camp during the summers or just seeing different things, the way traveling to different places, it really made a difference in terms of just seeing what else is out there. And so if I heard someone say, you can't do that or you can't do that, no, it's only because you haven't seen it done. I've seen it done. I've seen someone else do that. And so it's that exposure that was the key. Which Sterling and I were both in the military. We served in Iraq, and we were veterans at the age of 19 and 20. So we matured. We became man, I believe, at a faster rate than probably our peers did. So going through that experience and coming back and understanding the difference, life and death, and seeing those different things, it makes you different. And so our aspirations and our determination and our desire was at a greater level. So I think we just hit the ground running at a faster pace.
Y'all did. And I have to tell you, now this is just me. I started my little company in 2020, right? And my little company in 2020. And so it was 2019 when y'all had that Christmas party.
Yes.
And I saw that. And I saw the spirit of excellence. You had a violinist. You had, all these beautiful, successful Black people here in your house.
Yes.
And I was like, I want that.
Yes.
But in order to get that, I gotta work as hard as they work. I gotta hustle as hard as they hustle. I gotta have some dreams that are bigger than what I can really see right now. And then this would really mess me up. We on the podcast, so I can say this would really fuck me up. This would really fuck me up. Is you took your wife to Greece. Okay,
Yeah.
so, let me just tell you. Steve Harvey took his wife to Greece.
Yes.
He took Margie to Greece.
He took
And
Margie
I
to
said,
Greece.
oh, this is so sweet. Steve took Margie to Greece. One day, I'm going to go to Greece. But then I saw you Negroes in Greece. And I was like, wait a minute, I know them. I know these Negroes.
I can reach out and touch them.
If he taking his wife to Greece, I want to go to Greece too. I want to take myself and my kids to Greece. And so, does it ever occur to you that your success is forcing other people like me to get to that next level so they can have a similar success? Because I don't ever want you to think you showing out.
Yeah.
I don't ever want you to think you bragging or you doing too much.
Exactly.
Because you're doing too much is giving the rest of us some goals to achieve. Being in this beautiful house, seeing your beautiful family, your daughters have personalized license plates. I have my daughter here because I wanted her to see how you are living.
Yeah.
Because I want her to see it so she knows that it can be accomplished, that we can do it. I want her to know that we can have the same life that Mr. and Mrs. Carter have, that their children have. We got to work hard. We got to come together as a team. Does it ever occur to you that you are giving other people something to aspire to, goals that they didn't even realize that they could have? I didn't know you could throw a Christmas party like that. I didn't know you could have a house like this. I didn't know the children, Jesus, Father, God. I got my son going to school on the bicycle. I didn't know the children could have personalized lives. I just don't ever want you to think you're showing out. I don't ever want you to think you're doing too much. I want you to do everything that you are doing because it gives us hope. Does it ever occur to you that what you're doing is doing that for me?
You know, it does, and it is intentional. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it is very intentional. I remember my mother, you know, because you raised a good point. In our community, and in a lot of communities, there is the crabs in a bucket mentality. And if people see you doing more or better than, they're always trying to come up with an excuse or a reason why, they're anything to tear you down. But I also know, to your point, that the other side of it is that we need to see it. And it's not just we need to see it, because for our community, I want them to be able to see that you can aspire and be successful in more ways than just dribbling a basketball
and singing and dancing,
you know, and all that, right? So I want our community, but I also want everyone's community to see that. You know?
See?
Because when we showed up in Monaco and Saint Tropez in France, 18 deep, all melaned out, they were all trying to figure it out. And I want them to see it. And I want them to ask the question, well, what are y'all? I want them to see it so we can say, we're doctors, we're lawyers, you know?
And what does that do for them? Because we talked about what it does for us. It gives me goals. It gives my daughter hope. It takes her, you know, wanting to do more to the next level. It takes my pressing. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not, and I'm talking to you today on this show. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. You and your brother have helped me have a better business.
Oh, thank you.
I wasn't doing it right.
Yeah.
I was giving it maybe 62%.
Yeah.
And then I saw y'all and I saw what y'all had and I was like, success ain't easy.
Yeah.
If it was easy, everybody could do it.
Exactly.
Let me give 110%. And
Exactly.
people was like, what happened? I was like, nigga, Steven and Sterling Carter took their wives to Greece. That's what happened. The Christmas party
It started there.
Right. I'm going out here and get all the sponsors. I'm going to have some kick-ass shows. I'm about to do the damn thing. Because
As
my
you
brother
have.
is over here doing the damn
have.
thing. But what does it say to people who don't look like us when we show up the way we show up? When we do what we do, when they see you and your whole family and your friends in Greece, in France.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, diversity is something that's obviously being talked about on the Supreme Court. They're changing the way college admission is done based on, and I'm not trying to turn this into politics, but the reason that diversity matters is that sometimes people have to be forced to get outside of their box and see things differently, right? Because unfortunately, media portrays certain people in a certain way. And so if all I see on media is the hip hop channel, and I see the way African Americans are displayed there, or when I turn on the news and the majority of the time the criminals that are being displayed on the news are of darker hue. I don't blame them for having a certain perception about who we are because you don't see it. But when you see it and you're forced to see it and be exposed to it, it starts to change your mindset to say, maybe that's not all true. You know, the concept of fake news has been exploited now, unfortunately, and woke and anti-woke and all of those things. But the reality, when we talk about fake news and being woke in our community, there's always been fake news. There's always been being portrayed or put out there in a way that where the news and media has made so all of that is just so important for us to continue to expose ourselves, our lives the way that we know. And you know, it's crazy. You know, in my circle. And my circle, I'm surrounded by Shelettas all day.
Yeah.
So sometimes we kind of even get in our own bubble and think everybody is doing it.
Everybody doing it.
But they're not doing it.
Yeah.
And then I'm not saying that in a bad way. What I'm saying is that they need to see, though, it's possible.
Yeah.
And you're right. The one thing you said earlier is that it does take hard work. And it means that at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm up working.
Yeah.
When we used to say in the Army, we did more before 8 o'clock than the other people do all day.
Yes.
And I think my brother and I had the same mentality. 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, I'm working. I hit the gym, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then I'm back. Then I'm going into the office. When I finish at the office, I come home, make sure the family is okay. I'm gonna put another 2 or 3 hours in. But that's what it takes to be successful. You know.
I have to ask you this. How do we pass that on to our children? They live in an instant society.
They do.
Instagram.
They do.
Facebook, everybody your friend.
Yeah.
You know, we got a system now where everybody get a trophy, whether you showed up and did your best or not. You know, I see your daughters. Maddie woke up, got dressed, got in her little car with her little personalized license plate and went to work. Yeah. I'm babysitting on something. I got to get to work. She don't want to be late. How do we pass that down to the next generation, this work ethic that you have, so that they don't see all of this and thinks it's just Insta. Yeah. It's just because everybody like you. It's just because you got a social media post that pop. I done been viral 15 times. I still don't have my $1 million. I can tell you going viral is not going to get you $1 million.
I need you to show me how to go viral.
I'm going to teach you. As soon as the podcast is over.
Right here.
As soon as the podcast is over, I'm going to teach your wife and her business partner. They'll be viral by 3 o'clock today.
You better speak that. Lord help them. Right now.
I'm telling you, that's social media marketing, baby. I got that shit on lock. I got it on lock.
You got it. No,
I got it on lock. So I told the ladies,
yes.
I said, as soon as we done with this podcast, I'm going to sit down with y'all for 1 full hour.
Yes.
And I'm going to give y'all $5,000 worth of free marketing advice. And I'm going to show y'all how to, because I'll tell you, got all these best-selling books. I ain't never did a book signing. I ain't never been to the library. I never did a book launch. I sold all my books just from regular social, no boosted posts. If you boost a post, to me, that's cheap. So my people boost my posts. So that social media marketing is key. Yeah. But how do you promote that? Because it works. Yeah. But still teach our children who are looking at you. I got my daughter here because I wanted her to see this.
Exactly.
That it takes that hard work, because they don't always see the hard work. They see the results of the hard work.
Exactly. Well, you know, I mean, I think what you hit on, I was going to say something, but I think you hit on the point. They got to see the hard work. So we don't hide it from them. I think our girls are, you know, when they're young, they may be a little bit more selfish, but as they grow older, they get to realize. And so I'm like, baby girl, I have to have balance, right? So that means that I may not be able to be at every event that you have, but you also have an opportunity to have a passport where you've been able to travel to multiple countries. I think I don't think I went, no, my first time leaving the country was when Uncle Sam sent my ass over to Iraq. I got a passport then. It was not intentional, but I got that was my first time going out and getting a passport and going out of the country. But they have to also realize that it takes a lot of hard work, and so they have matured to the point where they respect that. And now when it's funny because the chores that they do and the things that they do around the house now they do because they realize how hard we work and they just want to help.
Yeah,
it's more than just
okay. Tell me about the buy-in because when you are
yeah.
successful, the whole family has to buy in. You can't do all the work and they sitting around and then you finish working and do all the chores. How do you?
Yeah.
Because I'm there now and I'm trying to get them to see it.
Yeah.
Y'all all got to buy in. I brought Cameron here and I told her before we pulled up to your house because I know she was gonna be blown away. I said, "You want this?
Yeah.
You got to help Mama.
You gotta
do your podcast because she got a little podcast. You got to do your podcast every week, not when you feel like it.
That's it.
If you see Mama on a Zoom, you got to take the phone and go in the other room and let whoever's on the phone know. You got to help your brothers. Get your own snack. Just those little things. How do we get the whole family to buy in?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, one of the things that unfortunately I think in our community that we don't do as well as other communities do. I think we start, and I learned this lesson a long time ago, we baby our kids. We don't expose them, we don't have them around adults. We grew up and I grew up in the same thing. Adults are talking, going to the other
over
room.
there. They ain't got nothing to do with you.
But sometimes you need it's an opportunity for them to learn and be exposed and see things differently. And so I think that we got to stop babying our kids. Okay. They can handle and do more than we will allow them to.
Okay.
And that. So we were teaching our kids to cook for themselves, and look, you hungry? Go in the kitchen and make yourself something to eat. Okay. And so if we had to go out and go somewhere. Of course, we had a babysitter up to a certain point, but baby girl, you got to be grown enough, mature enough to take care of yourself. Okay. We're not having somebody sit over here for you. Everybody's got to be able. You got to mature because this maturity level that we need because of the way that we're moving means that everybody has to get into it together. And so, I think that's been a lot of it. But parenting is tough. Yeah. We got two girls. I know you have four. Beautiful. You got each of them have a different personality, and you got to parent them differently. And so some things work for one, doesn't work for the other. You got to switch it up. Stay fluid and flexible. But it's been a blessing, that's for sure.
Talk to me about that extended family. Yeah. That's another monster.
Yeah.
I have been asking my mother for years, Mama, take the kids for the summer. It would allow me to get caught up on my work. It would allow me to go out here and get more sponsors for these shows, generate some new revenue streams, write a new book. I can't do that with three special needs kids, 4 kids total at home, right? And she's like, I ain't keeping them kids, Sheletta. Ain't nobody tell you to have all them damn kids. You know how we do, right? But then she came up a few weeks ago, and she saw the hustle. She saw the grind. And so this summer when I asked her, she said yes.
That's good.
And so when I asked, I said, well, what made you change your mind? I've been asking you this for years. She said, I saw it.
Yeah.
All of our extended family can't see it.
Yeah.
But how do we get them to buy in? Because I think about Barack Obama.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to run for office if my mother-in-law does not retire and take care of my kids.
Yeah.
That woman had to retire from her job. You know how hard it is to get a black woman to leave her job. but it was that extended family. How do you get the buy-in from the extended family? Because y'all have done it.
Yeah. Again, I think, so I think part of it is, you can only do so much. Family is who they are. Yeah. So let's just start off.
Okay, we'll start right there. That's the base.
There's some you're gonna be able to depend on, and some you're not. Just like and if you don't have a family unit that you can depend on, then it's okay. You get to just figure out how to be flexible and do other things. Yeah. It's all about the pivot. Everyone was talking about pivot during COVID. We've got to pivot. We'll never let any shortcomings or anything stop us from being able to do something differently because you can always
find a way.
But I think we were blessed. I was blessed. I think my wife is blessed, and our family always just being very supportive. My family from Mississippi, Daphne's family's from Georgia. They grew up like family's family. You just step up and that's what you do. But they also see, like you said, when your mother came and saw the grind. So they've come and they've seen it as well. So they know that we're up working. We're late night working.
Yeah.
We're not just out playing, running the streets.
Yeah.
It's grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind.
So was there a moment where it shifted in your mind? Because we were up in the club. You know, it was a time we was up in the club, and then after the club, we sit up at Whataburger and laugh and talk to 2, 3 in the morning, and sleep till noon. And so, was there a moment that you remember where everything shifted for you?
Wow. I don't know if there was one. I don't know if it was one moment. It probably was gradual. You know, you probably it's age, it's maturity. You kind of get tired of the same, because that, like you said, when you're running like that, I mean, I'll be honest, we had the lights turned off every now and then,
Right. Car got repossessed. Car
may got repossessed. At some point, you're like, I don't know if this is the life long term I want. I kind of want to be able to say I've got cash in the bank and, an emergency fund, and if something happens, I know I'm gonna be okay. And then of course, when you start having kids, or even elderly parents that you need to make sure you can take care of. It's just important to man up and do that kind of thing. So, you become an adult.
Wow, adulting one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yes, adulting on a new level. Thank you, brother. I love you.
Absolutely, love you too.
Oh, and I thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how proud we are of you and what you're doing. No, absolutely. And Sheletta, the one thing that I want to tell you is that you stay genuine and you stay authentic. And we just love that about you.
I'm trying. I can't code switch.
Yeah.
And y'all do too.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, y'all, iron sharpen iron.
That's it. That's it.
I'm out here promoting everybody else's stuff on these shows. I told my photographer Robert, I said, we're gonna do a podcast. We're going out to my brother's house. His wife got a new lime limoncello.
Absolutely.
She's got some spirits. She's got
Daphne
a whole new company.
You gotta
we
check
drinking it now.
It's a beautiful thing.
And we're gonna come out here and we're gonna not only do some podcasts and promote all the work that they're doing, but we're gonna sit and talk about how to do the social media thing. And I do the consulting work, but I'm over here with my brother. We all we got. We're gonna do this for free.
That's it.
Because we want them to keep building.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And you said something earlier about mentors, and how we were your but the thing is that we all have to have mentors. We talk about that in our book.
Yeah, they got a book
about mentorship is so important. So if you want to be better, if you want to do something different, if you want a different life, then be around those people that have the same thing that you want. Find a mentor. You'll be surprised how many people will take their time. They want you to be great. They want you to succeed. Find somebody that you can depend upon, that you can talk to, and that will guide you through life. Because everyone that's been successful has had somebody. Michael Jordan had a mentor.
Everybody.
Tiger Woods, anybody you can think of had a coach, had a mentor, or whatever that took them to the next level.
Okay, tell us the name of the book.
Yeah, Double Your Success. Double Your Success, Principles to Build a Multi-Million-Dollar Business. It's on Forbes Magazine's Forbes Books label. Long story, Forbes Magazine followed us and saw what we were doing. They were starting up their own book label. They were like, we're trying to focus on entrepreneurs, CEOs that have a story to tell. We want to help you guys get your story out. So we were one of the first authors on their label, one of the first African-American authors on their label. And so it's an Amazon bestseller and it's going really well. And we're just excited to share a few little nuggets about how to be successful in business and avoid the pitfalls,
All right, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. The first 5 people to email me, go to my website, ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com. Click on the Contact Us button. The first 5 people that says, I watched the show, I want a book, I'm going to buy copies of the book.
Yes, Double Your Success.
And I'm going to gift that to you.
Yes.
It is Black Business Week in Minnesota.
Okay.
It is. And so we are going to challenge all of the entrepreneurs who are watching this show to share it with your friends. But the first 5 who contact us on the website you are going to get a free copy of my brother's book. Thank y'all so much for joining us this week. Share this with your friends. All these nuggets. You pay $2,000-$3,000 in a workshop for everything that my brother has just taught you and told you about his amazing and beautiful success. And we will see y'all next week. I'm so proud of you. I love you. Oh,
love you too.
Bye, y'all.
Take care.
Yes.
All right.